Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille show. It's Jerry Miller. If you even had any idea what went into producing this show, you would be shocked. It is fantastic to be with you on a Wednesday here on the I Love CVille show. Katelyn Mancini is our guest. She is a super agent extraordinaire from Roy Realty Company. That's a tough one to say. We're going to get to Katelyn in a matter of moments. Before we do, let's give some props to Greenberry's. Did you guys know for roughly 30 years, a husband and wife team that started with a beat-up Honda Civic in the McIntyre office park now has a global business? That's right. Greenberry's started with Sean and Roxanne Simmons delivering their coffee 30 years ago all around town. Now they're in Qatar, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Washington, D.C., Portland, Oregon, and it started here in Charlottesville, Virginia. It's the stories we love to tell on the I Love CVille show. We also love stories like Scott Wagner, Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. He is changing lives. Who's got your back? Scott Wagner, Chiropractic and Sports Medicine has your back. Katelyn Mancini, our guest, two-shot. You are on.
Hey.
You're making us look better already. Just being here. I truly mean that.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go to you, the person first.
Sure.
We know you're a real estate agent. We know you're successful. I love your brand. Your dog's part of the brand.
This is Minnie.
There's Minnie.
She made it to the business card, and I've done a couple other things with her. Yeah.
Now you can't take Minnie out.
I know. She's gonna have to stick around.
That's good. She's gonna live forever for you. Before we get into your business, who is Katelyn Mancini, the person? What do you like to do? What do you like about Charlottesville? What do you like about the area?
Well, first of all, I love Charlottesville for a lot of reasons. I'm from Northern Virginia. Life is a little busier up there, a little more traffic. Mm-hmm. Charlottesville, I've known about Charlottesville my whole life. I grew up riding horses, and I horse showed here, and even through college I showed here. So coming to Charlottesville and living here and working here now has been awesome. I love, taking advantage of the outdoors. We go on hikes, enjoy the wineries. But I think most of all, and this might sound funny, but people are nice in Charlottesville. I mean, Northern Virginia, it's a little bit that, you have your own, it's faster pace. I mean, people are just sort of on their own track. But yeah, Charlottesville is a unique, neat place. If you're a foodie, oh my gosh, great restaurants. I have not made it to, I've made it to a handful, I guess, so far.
What are some of your favorites?
Oh, that's hard. Out in Crozet, I love smoked and rooftop.
So good.
So good.
Yeah. Justin Vanderlyn. He killed it. He started with the smoke food truck on the downtown mall.
I thought it was a food truck. Yeah.
Or like the food cart. And Katelyn, the line was wrapped around the corner. Now it's crushing it, right, in Crozet?
Yep. I mean, you walk there, even within a block, and you're smelling that good barbecue, and you're like, where is that coming from? So that was one out in Crozet that I love. Gosh, even just around, I guess, like downtown, it's sad to see Monoloco go, but good Mexican. I mean, Junction's great.
Junction's great. Melissa Close-Hart, we love you on this show. She's the chef over there.
Yes, I saw her. I've seen her. I've talked to her. Yes, I remember.
Well, let's talk about Northern Virginia. You grew up in Northern Virginia.
I'm going to pop her down.
Sure.
Is that cool?
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely. Minnie?
See you later.
See you later, Minnie. You grew up in Northern Virginia. Your mom, a powerhouse real estate agent herself.
Yep.
So you have seen the business firsthand. You grew up in the business. You saw what it's like to be a real estate agent, which is much more entrepreneur than 9 to 5.
Absolutely.
How has that shaped or influenced your career?
Great question. Yes. Hey,
Thank
Mom.
you.
Oh, my gosh. Facebook Live. Mom, I hope you're doing Facebook Live. I'll teach you how to do it later if you're not. So, yes, I grew up... I felt like now that real estate's in my blood. I'm a second-generation realtor. I knew I could not do a 9-to-5 job sitting at a desk. I loved how she had a flexible schedule. I saw, how she could make it work to come and watch me horse show, be a part of things that I did in school. So, yeah, I just sort of watched. So many things I could say about her. So, but one of the biggest things is just that I learned and saw is how much of a heart she had and caring about her clients. At the end of the day, we can be writing contracts all day long, but really having a heart and caring about your buyers and your sellers is it's huge. And I really appreciate my clients now too that put their trust in me and know that, look, I'm going to hang in there with you. And be there, start to finish.
And one of the cool things about you is you're a younger agent. So I feel like you can kind of evolve or like continue with the buyers and sellers. You may help them on a first-time home. You crush it for them. I think the average person moves, every 7 years?
6 or 7,
Every 6 or 7 years. So then next time a transaction needs to happen, next time they need new digs, they call you again.
Let's hope. Exactly. I mean, the best compliment that you can get is a referral. And so, yes, being younger, I don't want to be the busiest agent. I want to be really good at what I do. When I first moved to Charlottesville, I was like, you know what? I've had my license for 8 years, but my real estate license. But I was like, I want to get really good at this. So I started first off with a top producer as her assistant, and I can really attribute a lot of my knowledge and getting to know the area and having a Rolodex of resources because I really dug in and learned the business. Under somebody who has done incredible volume and has done a great business for many, many years. So then I went out on my own, and I've been doing this as a real estate agent. Like I said, I've been licensed for 8 years, but I've been doing it on my own now for just over a year, and I love it. I love it.
One of the things I've been impressed with you is your skill set for building a brand. You
Thanks.
clearly get the personal brand concept. And I think a lot of real estate agents do not. I think that has helped you have success. Can you put into perspective how you have gotten that mindset of building a personal brand? I mean, you're live streaming here on Facebook. You know how few people have done that on the show?
Awesome.
I mean, you're one of the few.
Cool.
You understand the power of social media and personal brand. Can you educate the audience about that?
Sure. I have seen, so I graduated with a business degree, concentration in marketing, and I always known, it's not what you have to sell, but how you sell it, how you market it. I mean, I didn't mean to match the backdrop, but I feel like this just worked out.
I mean, it looks amazing. It looks amazing.
I love, I don't know, red, the dog against my
power
red.
color.
It's a power, I love, Anyway, so it's, I think just consistency, face, name, brand, face, name, face, brand, and having everything sort of as a package. I studied a lot of different, variables, different companies and brands. You just don't realize how much of an impact that brand can really be, that it immediately correlates or associates, oh, I know that logo, that's so-and-so. So I think it's sort of a package deal, if you will, to get people to know, who you are and what you do.
What are the challenges? And we're going to talk about the trials, the tribulations, the successes you've had, the hard times you've had in real estate. But as someone who's young, who's new to the market, what are some of the challenges as an agent of breaking into real estate in Central Virginia and Charlottesville?
That's a great question. I wanted to get really good at this business and learn the area before, I could say, yes, I'm, an area expert. So that was one of the things why I did not jump in. Okay, I got my license, but I didn't jump in right into this business by myself. I wanted to really learn and absorb like a sponge as much as I could with a great company and under another agent. But I think moving, I've been here about 5 years now, but having moved from Northern Virginia, seeing real estate and just saying, okay, I'm moving here now, and what if I, how do I learn this area as fast as possible? And as much as I can do on a weekly basis, just to really get out there, see the inventory. I, go to broker opens. I want to see as much inventory as possible and really learn the area, and just learning by doing.
Charlottesville is a unique market in that you have this like old guard, like this old school that is like been here forever.
Yep.
They're used to who they do business with. And one of the things I've been impressed with you, and I've highlighted a little bit, is the brand building. I see your brand everywhere. I think you kill it on social. You kill it on Instagram. You do well on Snapchat. How important is that piece to building a brand? And like,
Sure.
Why I'm going with that is like you have agents at Roy Wheeler that range in age. Your mom is in the business. She's probably learning from you as you learn from her. Talk to me about the social media piece.
So everybody knows this, unfortunately, but home phones, landline becoming obsolete. You got to find other ways to connect with people. A direct marketing piece, maybe something that's, everybody still loves to get something in the mail. So I'm taking something, if you will, like an older I guess, brand strategy of how to market, older marketing strategy. And I'm trying to incorporate things that are fresh and new. And there are so many other ways to reach the consumer today at the click of a button. And it's just, if I can do one thing every day online in some way that I can do to incorporate, into my business, that's what I'm doing, because I'm seeing, on Facebook Live or on Instagram, and you can see how many views and people are interested. I'm always like, oh gosh, they don't care what I have to say. But they do.
They do.
Like,
yeah, it's the content.
It is. Yeah. Right. I'm like so flattered. And I love, I don't know. I love what I do. And I love, like, people can see, the inside of a home or the outside, whatever it may be. So, taking these, like, if you will, newer, I'm not a millennial. I just missed the mark. I think you just missed the mark too.
I did. I was going to say you're 27 years old. No,
not quite.
Well, we'll say 20.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
But it just missed the mark. So being like this millennial, to have as much just online incorporated with, digital, social, and like I said, incorporating older marketing strategies as well, is not a bad thing. They're kind of a tried and true.
Buyers and sellers, you like working with all of them. Do you have a specialty? Do you like focusing on one, or you like working on all of them? And what's the answer and why?
Yeah, that's hard. So buyers and sellers alike. I can't say that I like doing one, working with one more than another. But listing properties, I love preparing market homes for going on the market.
Because you like building the brand for the home.
I love it. Yeah. Exactly. It's not what you have, but how you sell it. And I think every property has its own unique
I totally agree
strategies.
With that.
Yeah. Not strategies, but own unique,
idiosyncrasies.
Special features. Yeah. Exactly. So sort of what putting my business degree in marketing into play, I think staging a home. Making sure that it's not, as the decor that you live. Okay, you're living in your home and you're comfortable with that on a daily basis, but putting it for sale in the market, you want it to be fresh and look like something that you're really presenting. Buyers, I love working through the process with them. It can be emotional, helping them weigh the pros and cons, going from home to home to say, okay, what do we like one over the other and why? And just sort of really, if I can help those buyers get into their dream home and find something that they just love, it's so rewarding at the end of the day to get to closing and to say, if I could just be a part of helping you through this transaction, it really is. I'm blessed. I'm very honored to work with so many great clients, and that they're putting their trust in me.
I think, the real estate agent is so important to the transaction, and not just for the negotiation piece, not just for finding properties, but just for being that, like, calm, level-headed, like that consistent presence. And, I've done a handful of transactions myself. It is like the most stressful thing in the world. Especially when you're trying to buy your personal home, and then you fall in love with a piece of property, and then you're unsure if you're going to get it, and then there's such a long period of time between falling in love with the property and actually getting the keys.
Right.
Put in perspective how much of your job is being that calming influence and helping people realize, look, I've done this before.
Yeah.
I can help you get to the finish line.
Trust me. I am here to, if it is a little bit of hand holding, but it's also, I want to give as many tools to my buyers and sellers for them to make an informed decision. Yes, sometimes you get a panicked phone call late at night or a text to say, oh my gosh, you have to call me. And it's emotional. It's an emotional transaction. And just say, hey, I've seen it before. We're gonna get through this, guys. But yeah, just to be able to have step by step and know that it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Sure.
And getting to closing is our goal, and always keep that in mind and sort of in your sight if possible. And that can be hard. Especially like you said, if something falls out from under you, how do we sort of get back up and start again? I'm like, you know what? Trust me. I'm here with you. I'm going to do it with you.
I think the emotional piece is an important thing for agents, because it gives you kind of another leverage point to showcase your value to the transaction. If it was so linear and so black and white and so unemotional, then I feel like the agents become more commodities. It's not. Where it is it's a 60, 90 day marathon.
Exactly.
And it's ebb and flow.
It can be hurry up and wait.
Right.
I mean, it really is. I grew up riding. It's funny. I grew up riding horses. It's kind of the same thing. You put so much time into preparing and training and getting your horse prepared, dressing and getting yourself prepared, and you hurry up and you have 2 minutes in the ring, and it's like hurry up and wait. So trying to keep, a mental focus and trying to not get too, because you can build yourself up, and that can just stress you out. Trying to keep it and being like level and cool and just being like, you know what? There's a step process, but now you got to kind of hang out, after certain things after we're through the home inspection. Well, now we have sort of a lull period. Sellers may be doing some repairs. You're kind of still getting financing in order. And just know that that's okay. Like, hey, I'm going to call you to say, hey, I have no news, but that's good news because I just want to be in touch with you to let you know that I'm here. If you need anything, like, I am here. But it's exactly the ultimate goal is getting into closing. But yeah, getting through the process can be stressful and
I think
tedious.
that's a highlight reel waiting to happen right there. A sizzle reel. You crushed it with that answer. Let's turn that into a sizzle reel clip right there, Judah.
Awesome.
Is there a transaction or an anecdote or like something that's happened to you in your career where you like, man, this is the business for me? Like, is it like a trade that happened where you like, oh my gosh, I'm in the right spot?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. There've been a couple. There've been a couple. So when I was working, with another agent, I just remember at the end it was very much a team aspect that I was her right hand, left hand. And I remember a client coming afterwards and saying, we just couldn't have done this without both of you. If there was any question, you were always the one that I could call. If there was anything that we needed and we couldn't get a hold of this other agent, you would have always, you always picked up the phone. Just knowing that we had you there with us and on our side, even if it seemed like some, a silly question or we needed to know one thing or the other, they were just so grateful. And that is so rewarding to me because I'm in a people business. I couldn't sit 9 to 5. There's no way I could do a 9 to 5 desk job. There's no way. So being able to work with people and to really be able to give back to them as much as with my, professional opinions.
I feel like you and I have a lot of similarities. We feed off doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
I gain energy and like zest for life being around people like you that are high energy, that are positive, that like want to live life to its fullest. And I feel like that is like very much conveyed and captivated with your brand and the message that you're putting out. Even you filled 20 minutes already. I mean, it feels like 2.
I know.
You're killing it right now.
Thank you.
Put that in perspective of like just loving when you make your passion your profession, do you ever work a day in your life?
Exactly. And I don't know who ended up saying this, but if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. I have like an enthusiasm for properties. I know it's like an HGTV culture that we're in, but truly I love to see transformations. I love to see almost not trash to treasure, but everything to have sort of a silver lining. That look, this house has good bones. If you're really getting into sort of a rehab, I love to do to flip, doing flips on houses and seeing sort of the potential. But I have an enthusiasm, I guess, just all around. I'm very, I'd like to say that I would like to stay humble, but enthusiastic about what I do.
Sure.
That people can really trust me and that I can get to know people. You feed off of these other people. I work with some great clients. I'm like, you guys are not just clients, like you're friends.
Yeah.
I want it like, can we, go do something like I
have
know
drinks.
Their kids.
Yeah, right.
We go, exactly.
Yeah.
So, exactly. It's not work to me when it's that they can really, it's an ebb and flow and sort of a give and take.
I feel the same way about our business is like when you're successful and you do good work for people, then that builds like a level of trust with the relationship that can really like last a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you're doing with your career. I want to transition and turn this into a highlight reel. This question for you. Ready? You work within the Roy Wheeler brand and organization.
Yes.
And Roy Wheeler, one of the most successful, longest running real estate firms in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. I'm going to even say the Commonwealth. I mean, we have over a century of experience, right, at Roy Wheeler.
Yep.
Put in perspective, Katelyn, what it's like to work for the Roy Wheeler team, Michael Guthrie, and your colleagues.
I am I could have gone anywhere to work. You know, I could go to any company. I interviewed a few, but Roy Wheeler was unique in the way that they really give back to the community, and that they're so saturated in the community. A long-standing brand, like you said, like almost a legacy brand. And I think it's important to have a balance. And if I can give back through nonprofits, they work with a lot of charities. That the Harvey, I'm going to get this wrong, Harvey Dabney, I believe, award was awarded to Roy Wheeler in 2017 for having such an impact on the community.
That's awesome.
Our agents are, and it's not just Roy, I mean, the agents make up just the nicest group of people, I have to say, that really do have such a caring, giving heart. Michael's godly leadership and just being that cheerleader and that support. He's like, he said to me the other day, or it was an email, and he says, you know, I know your mom's your number one supporter. Thanks, Mom. But I'm right there as a close second. And he means it and I trust him, and I know that I could go to him with anything, any question. And yeah, he's rooting you on, and really there professionally and just all around. There
you go. Let's turn that into a sizzle reel for me. Judah Wickower, thank you so much. Judah Wickower behind the board, making us sound and look good. Your the areas you like. I know you like to trade in all of Charlottesville. I know you like to trade in all of Central Virginia here. But are you seeing some hot pocket neighborhoods? Are you seeing some areas that are like sustaining value a little more? I mean, what is your experience showing?
So I think you'll never be able to get the mountains and be so close to so many things to do than living in Charlottesville. Mm-hmm. The mountain views and heading west and in Crozet, I think that's sort of the heart of growth area. Mm-hmm. Western Albemarle is beautiful place to live. You know, there's not much land left in the city, but people still love the walkability. They still love being able to get around and have things sort of centrally located. So I think the value in the heart of the city is of course going up, but it's also starting to expand. I mean, that radius is starting to expand. You're seeing, we were just talking where you live, you have a new neighborhood that's gone in. We're seeing new construction, all over the place.
Yeah, and we could say it. Redfields. I mean, Oak Hill, the neighborhood right outside, brand new construction.
Yep, and across the street from Oak Hill. Right there.
I mean, that part of town. I mean, let's talk the new construction piece.
Sure.
New construction everywhere.
Yeah.
I like shiny things. You like shiny things. We like bells and whistles. This is a tough question for you. If you're selling your home and it's not new construction, how do you compete with like the Stanley Martins, the Craig Builders that are building brand new homes, beautiful kitchens? I mean, how do you put it in perspective? What's the advice you're giving to folks?
I would say, number one, you can offset the new construction in Charlottesville by offering a home warranty. Yes, you may not be new and shiny, but if something were to break, hey, you're offering that reassurance to buyers, being a seller, offering the home warranty, to buyers to just have that as a backup. The other big thing is that really is staging your house as close to, people go to model homes, these new construction model homes, and that is almost setting sort of a stage for when they're going and walking into a resale. People walk in, I had a buyer one time that walked in the door, and the first thing that they said back to me was, wow, this seller is really comfortable in their house. Are you sure they want to sell? And I said, well, that's a good question. I mean, they were very comfortable in their house. You know, the remote was in the same spot, and their toothbrush was in the holder. It's like, okay, there's a certain thing to put your home on the market and to prepare to say, if people aren't going to find it in resale, it's most likely that they're going to step and look to new construction, just as if they're not finding what they're looking for. So really to have a beautiful piece of property or to present that property as best as possible, to make it as close to shiny and pretty as possible, to be next to these open, to new construction is sort of a goal.
How hard is it for you to have that conversation where you're like, guys, we might
don't take this personally.
We need to declutter. We need to change this.
You got a lot of stuff.
Is it hard?
Yeah.
How do you do it? Because you got good style. You have good style. Right, you have a good look. You know what you're looking for.
All right. So one of the first things that I would say is, remember, you are decorating a home and we're presenting and staging a house to go on the market.
Right.
That is what we do. The goal is to sell this home. So yes, declutter, getting apart and starting to purge is you're going to move anyway. So why not start the stuff that you don't use on a daily basis? Start to pack that up. Start to box it up and just sort of we're presenting the spaces of this house. The different rooms and things. So let's make sure that buyer isn't walking in and just seeing your beautiful family photos on the wall. See, it's almost like spot staging. How about instead of having that gorgeous area rug, they're not getting that area rug when they buy this house. They want to see the hardwood floors underneath. So having stuff, and to be able, call me. Well, the other thing is, call me and I will help you.
I like it.
Call me and I'll help you. We can do this one-on-one because every house is a little different. Everybody's a little different. And yeah, you kind of have to massage that topic a little sometimes. But
one of the things I have struggled with, and I see other folks struggling with, is the home is like not just a structure. It's like part of their family.
Oh my gosh.
You see the home, and I have, even in my home, I'm like, that's where my son crawled for the first time.
Yeah.
That's where my son opened a Christmas present. That's where my wife and I had 3 sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Because of him.
So many memories that you're building under that roof. Yeah.
Yeah. Help me put that in perspective of how I don't think you can get over it, but how you manage it, how you handle it come sale and transaction time.
So, if it is a little tricky. If the sellers are very, they're attached to their home,
right.
Making
Which we
memories.
Understand.
I totally understand. Yeah. Absolutely. But focusing on sort of the next phase, like getting excited about, look, our goal is for you to move and be able to move on with your life and go to the next step, the next chapter. It's hard, and I totally get it, because you have to move on and sort of strip it to be, okay, taking down those photos or being, yes, I know that's where your son crawled, but let's make sure that that the next person doesn't see that, oh, yes, a 2-year-old loved that wall.
Right,
and,
right.
And as
if you only knew about that wall.
Exactly. So let's just try to make it as a sort of generic and just depersonalized as possible, because when you walk in to a home, it's hard to see, oh, I don't want someone to be captivated by your gorgeous family photo, or where they went to school. We want them to see the house.
They want to see themselves in the house.
They want to see themselves in the house, and they also, want to see that, okay, these sellers have a beautiful home and that they want to present it for sale.
Sure.
Not for, living and maybe not wanting giving it up.
Hardest part of the job?
Hardest part of the job. Not having, it's sort of a catch-22, not having regular office hours.
Having to hustle.
Sometimes it's, 10 o'clock at night, but I can be on my couch working, but it's not, it's right. It's having that hustle. It's either, early to late, really just trying to keep up with and being organized. Gosh, when you make your own hours, making sure my planner is like my left hand. I don't know what I do without my calendar. I'm like, I don't know. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. I have to check my calendar.
Right.
It runs my life. So I have to make sure that I stay organized. And I am sort of an organized OCD, a little off OCD, but just staying organized and being that I have to make myself every day do one thing in the long term for my business.
Do you find that when it rains, as an entrepreneur and business owner, been doing the entrepreneur thing for almost 11 years, I find that when it rains, it pours. And what I mean by that, oh my gosh, where's all this business coming from? It's like, yes,
I know.
yes, yes. And then when it's a drought, it's a drought.
And it's scary.
Is it the same?
I think it is. It's the slower time of year in real estate, which you can understand, is usually around the holidays.
Yeah,
it gets
Q4,
a little
Q1, right?
Yep,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fourth quarter, it's not as pretty outside. The leaves aren't green, and people are inside and being a little
and Christmas.
Yep, being a little bit more of a hermit, and I understand that. And those are the times that I have to be like, look, this is actually an opportunity, not a detriment, to be making sure that I can be doing something in my marketing or in branding to sort of have it for my future plan, if I will, just having, those are, yes, the slow times. You kind of get nervous. You're like, oh my gosh, I have the middle of the day to do something. Why am I not busy at 12 noon? But yes, when you get busy, those are when you're really running.
And when you're talking about Q4 and Q1 and as an opportunity to build your personal brand, Q4, Q1 is also an opportunity for sellers. because the inventory
Sure.
levels are so low at Q4, Q1. When they put their home on the market, it gives them a chance to stand out from a less crowded marketplace. Thoughts on that, Katelyn?
Absolutely. So first quarter, fourth quarter in real estate, yes. I would say number one, you have time now to prepare to go on the market for if you're really trying to hit that spring market. Two, it is a seller's market. Why not take advantage of, hey, there is overall, the fourth quarter reports just came out and overall inventory is still low. It's lower than it was fourth quarter last year.
Wow.
Overall. So, and that's another, kind of back to our new construction, that's kind of another reason why people are headed to new construction, because they're not finding what they want in a resale.
Do you tell that to folks that are on the cusp of listing? They're like, now's the time and here's why?
If I was going to say, now is the time, people ask, should we try to wait and hit the spring market? And sometimes it really does depend on the weather. Right. If it's snowing outside, people aren't going out to look at houses. But if they are ready and prepared, and there are things, there's a couple things to do. We have a staging consultation, and kind of if they are ready and prepared, sure, the time is now, because you could still get some beautiful professional photographs. I mean, it's not as though, although the leaves aren't on the trees outside, people are still out there looking for houses. If they're serious buyers, they're looking year round. They're not just waiting for spring market.
How about the ubiquitous nature and the advent of these?
Oh my gosh.
Yours is right there.
Yeah.
Mine's in my hand.
Yeah.
How has that impacted the profession?
People are going to, if you aren't jumping on it and presenting them with information and being the go-to and picking up that phone and answering that phone, people are going to find it online. Because we are very much in the day and age that people want instant gratification. If they don't pick up the phone, if I don't pick up the phone, oh, well, that's just easy that they could just call the next agent that may pick up the phone because they want to get in this house and they want to get in this house like 5 minutes ago. Having information, at their disposal, at their fingertips. I read a book, it's so important to be authentic and to be honest and to be truthful, because if you aren't, people are likely going to find that loophole and that lie. They're going to find out.
Especially
they can
in
find
Charlottesville. I mean, a town of like 50,000 people.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So my dad was one.
It's not like Northern Virginia where your mom was. Where like in Northern Virginia, if a bridge is burned, you may not see that person ever again. Right. Here in Charlottesville and Central Virginia, it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know what I mean? It's like everyone knows somebody.
Everybody knows somebody that knows some. Yeah,
right.
It's a small town. Exactly. So being honest, my dad has always said there's one way to do business, and it's the right way. Be ethical, be honest, and that has just been ingrained in me since I was a kid, and it's so true, because you really cannot cut corners. There's no way to have a real business. Like, I'm in this with my whole heart. Like, I'm sharing with you on Facebook Live. I'm sharing with you. Like,
you're all in.
I'm all in, and this is what I want to do. And if there's something that is a little sketchy, or if you're not being, people are just going to move on to the next person that they know that they can trust. And just being, I mean, I'm privileged as I'm still sort of the new kid, but I think that I have a lot to bring, to the table, and being, well, like I said, we didn't say we were millennials, but being sort of we're in this day and age of so many things being online, that I can really bring a lot of marketing strategies.
I think this is a lot of the value proposition you bring. You are obviously very business savvy. You understand digital and social inside and out. So you can apply that business savvy to digital and social, to the direct mail piece, to the marketing piece. You're a great negotiator. You're a good people person. There's a lot of value there. Where I'm going with this is, what about the people that don't have your talents, that want to get into real estate, that aren't the people? What do you say to the people that want to jump into this game?
Do
you get that question a lot?
I say give it a chance.
Yeah?
And if this is not for you, honestly, maybe they think they want to be in real estate, but maybe it's really not the right career for you. I mean, truthfully, I think, number one, learning from someone else, learning by doing, having a mentor is vital. Having good leadership, having, somebody a go-to. But yeah, they say, well, how do you jump in and you're being young and whatever? as much as I can learn and absorb and getting into this, and I want to have, years of experience under my belt when I have a family one day, and that I can say, I've been doing this for, 9 years.
Almost a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade. And
it's crazy.
It is crazy. Like, time flies, and taking advantage every day, like you said, of having enthusiasm for just the blessings that we have, and being grateful to giving back to the community. But okay, so back to your question. How do I say to someone, this might be a little hard, I want to get into real estate? Give it a shot. And have an excellent mentor, and get into a company that has incredible training. Roy Wheeler has an incredible training program, probably the best in the Central Virginia, Charlottesville area, in terms of what you can take advantage of, and yeah, give it a shot.
Did you know all along that this was going to be? Did you know?
Well, I was stapling brochures when I was like 10 for Mom. I was helping put open house signs in the ground for her. Before you had to be licensed, I could be an open house host, or I would be a greeter with her. Awesome. I remember one time somebody called, and they say that we sound alike on the phone, and I picked up the phone, and I said, hello, this is, and I used to say, hello, this is Katelyn. And they said, on the other line, they said, oh my gosh, Kristin, you have just saved this deal. I don't know what we'd do without you. They went on and compliment, and this other agent on the other end, and I kind of paused, and I said, well, this is her daughter, but I'll be sure to give her the message. And I was like, well, maybe I can do this, because I sound like Mom and whatever. She was an excellent, she still is. I said, Mom, if you're going to retire, you can, come and work for me.
There you go. Let's turn that into a clip right there. That was so good.
Oh,
That made you seem so human right there.
Oh,
Let's
good.
turn that into a highlight clip, please, Judah. When your mom found out you were doing this,
Yeah.
did she say, like, really? Or was she like, go, go, go? Because it's not easy.
Oh my gosh, she is it's not easy. She's my biggest fan, even with, you're learning so much and you're doing great. And if I have questions, she's always, she's my go-to. Next to Michael, I still go to.
Michael Guthrie, we love you, baby.
Yeah, he did a great job the other day,
He's watching.
too.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oops, running into the mic. So, yeah, and just having that support, because it is true. You can get kind of bogged down sort of with this business if things aren't as, running at a fast pace. Like you said, rains, it pours. When it rains, we're in it. Like, you're excited. Your adrenaline's pumping and really getting into it. When it's slower times, it's like, okay, you have to look at this as an opportunity for growth.
Love that right there. I love that. How about the lean times? What do you tell the folks that in the lean times?
In
Obviously,
the lean,
you said
like
it's
the middle time?
Yeah, the slow times.
Like the slow times?
Yeah. I'm talking more from like a mental standpoint. And where I'm going with this is you're a positive person. The down times, I always try to stay positive. Mm-hmm. You try to always stay positive. What's the advice you give from a mental standpoint during those to the folks that are watching?
I think that it is perfectly normal to
get down
a little bit. Exactly, the ebb and flow. I try on a daily basis to do a daily devotional, to take time to stop every day and say something that I'm grateful for, even the car that I drove, the shoes on my feet. And if you need some of that, motivation, there are fabulous books out there. There's great, I'm taking advantage of a lot of real estate seminars. The slower times that it's like, you know what, you got to look at the silver lining, because we are here on earth today with so much opportunity ahead of us and so many blessings to be grateful for that it's okay. You know what? You take a day, mental health day. Absolutely. I think that's important to take time for you and to just sort of, because it gives you opportunity for the next day to wake up, put your feet on the ground and say, this is a new day, and this is going to be, I have the opportunity to do better tomorrow.
You're getting some props here.
Oh, really?
Ray
Thanks,
Cadell
Dennis.
says another great interview. Sarah Hill says, can you pronounce her last name for me?
Does it start with a B?
Yeah.
No, I cannot.
Sarah Hill, we love you.
Sarah
Sorry,
B.
Sarah B.
Buczynski?
Yeah.
Is that right, Sarah?
I think that's right. Sarah Hill, we love you. See you next Wednesday. You get some props here. I want to create a sizzle reel, a highlight reel here.
Okay.
Catelyn Mancini, the real estate agent.
I'm like sweating.
You don't even need the notes. You filled almost an hour.
Ugh,
seriously. Doesn't it feel like 10 minutes?
Yeah, it does fly by.
Yeah, it fly by.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a sizzle reel waiting to happen.
Okay.
Catelyn Mancini, the real estate agent.
Yep.
Who is she? Put her in perspective. What does she do well?
Well, I'm a second-generation realtor. Grew up in Northern Virginia. My mom runs an incredible, fast-paced real estate business in the Northern Virginia area. I knew I couldn't do a 9-to-5 job. I wanted to work with people. And, I was growing up and looking at and having an incredible mentor as a mother that has a sterling reputation and hugely successful, and knowing that that it really boils down to one thing, and it's truly caring about the clients and the people that you work with. And I'm just honored to work with some incredible clients that put their trust in me and know that I'm going to go to bat for them, and I'm going to be here for them every step of the way, whether that be selling a house or buying a piece of property.
That was fire right there. Rack that, Judah. That's going on the About page of your website. That was so darn good right there. All right, personal.
All right.
Personal, you ready?
Personal, yep.
Okay, we talk business. Let's talk personal.
Okay.
Katelyn Mancini.
Yes.
What does she like to do? Where do you like to go?
I like to hang out with my dog.
Yeah, we saw Minnie.
I'm like a #1 dog mom.
Yeah?
Yep. I love a good glass of wine.
Yeah? What kind?
It's red. I don't know, something red,
doesn't
something
matter.
white.
Right.
No, I love a good glass of Pinot Noir.
Any personal favorite vineyards, wineries?
King Family Vineyard, up, down, around. I think it's #1 for location and that it's beautiful.
I see you at the polo matches all the time. Are you at the polo matches all the time?
Yeah, I've gone.
Because
I love
you
it.
love the horses.
I love the horses.
Love
yeah.
the wine and being outside.
Yeah, absolutely. That you can just like throw down a blanket or bring. I think you can bring a tent, or you used to be able to bring a tent, and and hang out and enjoy the views and good on a beautiful day with friends, and having a good glass of wine.
Seems like you're really, stomping around the Crozet area.
I have friends out there that have farms, so I do like to be out in that area. But I work in all of Central Virginia. I just think that between city of Charlottesville, there's a lot of wineries that west and north of town, but. I love the polo matches at King Family. The other Blue Mountain Brewery, or they call it 151 or 150 Fun.
Yeah.
Along there, Devil's Back, all the way to Devil's Backbone. I have a piece of land out there for sale. If you're looking for a piece of land out by Devil's Backbone,
nice.
Call me. It's 2 minutes. Like you could.
How hard is
walk
it to
home.
sell land?
That's a little trickier. You got to be patient.
Yeah.
For sure. And. Yeah, I wish I had a beautiful piece of land and closer in,
right.
Because it would go in a heartbeat.
Like a half acre north downtown.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Do you have something to sell? Call me. I'll sell it for you. But have it it's hard. Yeah, it's much harder. You got to be patient, and land is just can just sit. Land can sit sometimes. So.
Kristin Kelly Remax says,
"Hey, Mom."
Oh, is that your mom?
That's my mom.
Oh, Kristin Kelly.
We don't have the same last. Yeah, we don't have the same last name. But,
okay,
Kristin Kelly Remax.
Okay, she says you are killing it. You rock, sweetie pie.
Thanks, Mom. I love you.
That is so good.
If my dad knew how to do this, that's his name for me.
Is your mom doing the live Facebook Lives? Is she doing live?
I think
streaming?
so.
She is.
Oh, has she live streamed?
For her business.
Oh, no, Jerry, no. She's laughing right now. I know she's laughing right now. No, I had to walk her.
Are you still working on email, Kristin?
Yes, we just got out of AOL. We headed to Gmail.
Go, Kristin.
I know. We're really making moves.
So it sounds like you're returning the favor. What your mom provided for you, you're helping. Isn't it funny how life goes full circle?
Full circle. Seasoned agents, years of incredible business and learning those things. She's helping me, and I'm helping her stay, with her business and marketing and staying fresh and staying out in front of people. One
more question for you. Actually, you know what? I have a lot more questions for you. You're doing really well. We're up 46 minutes in. You were worried about an hour.
I was like, let's just cut it
This
off.
is so easy.
Yeah.
You're good at this.
You're good at this.
Let me throw this to you here. And I want to turn this into a sizzle reel.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The importance of you being involved with charities, dog rescues in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Put it in perspective for us.
Sure. No matter where I have lived, growing up or through school, and since then, and fast forward, moving to Charlottesville, I think it's very important that we give back to our community. There's always a need. Minnie, my dog, is a rescue that I rescued from a high kill shelter in Union, South Carolina.
That's awesome.
If you saw some of the animals that went through that shelter, a lot of them don't make it. There's just too many. There's too many in such a small town. But I jumped into animal rescue specifically is because I'm an animal lover. I think that they all deserve a chance. They all deserve a loving home. You know, I feel bad that when she doesn't have her bed to lay on a floor, and it's like, okay, she didn't have a roof. There was no, there's always something that could be living outside. So giving back.
She's a winner just like you.
Lucky girl.
She's sitting there watching you.
I know. She's such a good dog. She's like the mascot
of Roy Wheeler.
yeah, she's been around. I'm like very grateful that they allow dogs, but she kind of, everybody knows, she knows her path of which agents to give her treats and whatever. She knows where her favorite chair is. Thanks, Mike Peters, if you're watching this. It's in his office. That's her favorite chair. So anyway, so giving back and charity, I want to make sure that I'm hitting my points that I want to say.
Sure.
Because this is 46 minutes. I'm like, I'm trying to hang in there.
One of the things I want to throw to you
Yeah.
is when I walk into Roy Wheeler,
Yeah.
I feel like a ridiculous sense of family. I mean, I go in there and people are like, they're laughing. Now, everyone's getting work done. You know, you're being most of the time. It's family. I don't feel that at all. I'm not going to marginalize anyone here. I don't feel that at other firms like I do at Roy Wheeler. Yeah. Why is that?
I laugh at first because I'm like, you're right. You walk in and you're going to sit on like a comfy antique couch waiting for whomever you're coming to see. But the sense of partnership and family, I think, is important. That it's not cold. It's not just an office building. We have a gorgeous historic
it's gorgeous
building. Yep. Yeah. The Ednam Hall it's a big mansion. It's a big house. And that you walk in and not only do you have a friendly, face and smile at the front desk, which we have incredible staff, but agents, we can be running 100 miles an hour on any given day. And to stop, for instance, and pet a dog, like dog friendly, to be able to stop, say hi to the dog, and to be able to just stop in the middle of your day, I think it's all about a balance and being that you're encouraging your other agents, to be as best as they can, to be, that you're like, thanks, Minnie loves to say hi to you too, but to be able to stop and say, I saw so-and-so on Facebook, or I saw your photo and this kind of thing, that it's not just work. It really is, we are there lifting each other up. We have an incredible mentorship program that I've taken advantage of too. So yeah, it's a unique place to work.
I want to give you props for your commitment to giving back to Charlottesville and Central Virginia. I have seen firsthand you out in the freezing cold ringing the is it the Salvation Bell?
Yep,
the Salvation Army Bell.
Yep.
Guthrie was there.
Yep.
That day.
Yep,
Was
in
it
his funny hat.
Was it the Bel Air?
We were at Bel Air.
On Ivy?
Yep, on Ivy Road.
Put that in perspective.
Roy Wheeler each year goes to Bel Air Market around the holidays, and we take shifts, hour-long shifts, to ring the Salvation Army bell. And it's kind of funny because we'll go and kind of have a competition with our own agents and being like, yeah, but I got a $10 bill, and they're like, I'll top you. I got a 20 and a 5, and you're like, ugh, like my hour was better than your hour.
Who's the best at it?
Me and Michael Guthrie.
Yeah. Did you guys raise the most money in the hour?
I don't know. When I was there, it was like, you get excited. You're like, yes, a 10. People are throwing in their spare change. Anything. We're grateful for any donation, but it's kind of funny to be able to kind of to joke with other agents that have volunteered and submitted their time. But yeah, out there in the cold, it's an hour of my time, and that's whether that be, and that adds up. I mean, those are helping people that have nothing,
right,
that have been, they're out of their home, or they just need a hot shower, or they need a meal for a day. I think it was that $5 provides, a meal, like 20 meals. Like, that's incredible, just to be able, between, Salvation Army and other incredible nonprofits. Toy Lift this year was in Charlottesville. I'm always amazed. They had over 4,000 kids this year that they were supporting and giving gifts to, which was more than the year before, and somehow the community pulls through.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's a testament to Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Did this town hook you? I mean, because I feel like this is how the progression is with folks in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
They're like, and who said it on the air? Someone said it, who was it the other day? You know what it was? It was Heather Hill.
Okay.
City councilor. She said, when I first moved down here, I thought it was a little pretentious, and I wasn't sure if I fit in. And then she said, I had some difficulty in my life, and the communities rallied around me, and showed that I belonged here and showed that I was a part of it. And then I started falling in love with Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Your relationship with Charlottesville and how this town and community, what they mean to you.
Great question. Yes, I think that it can have a little bit of a reputation like, oh, it's old money, you know?
That's fair.
Huge, beautiful farms and estates and old money. College town, okay, fun college town, absolutely. But yeah, I've come to learn that if you ask, okay, I'll just use Roy Wheeler and my other coworkers and agents. If you ask anybody, like, have you done some charity work or have you done anything, you know, are you involved or do you volunteer? Almost everyone has something to say because it's true. They're giving back and volunteering, whether it be Boys and Girls Club or Senior Safe at Home or done things through AHIP, Albemarle Housing Improvement Program. Everybody is kind of given back and in a way because we get, and I'm so grateful and we are so blessed with so many privileges and opportunities in life that giving back into a community, it makes all the difference. There'll always be a need. There'll always be somebody that is less fortunate than you. And if it's just, you know, one thing that I can do even just around the holidays or year round that I'm privileged and being able to just be able to give.
Great answer. Highlight reel, Judah. Turn that into a clip. We're going to give you some extra clips today.
Thanks.
Extra content for IG, Facebook for you here.
Sweet.
Last question. How long have you been in Charlottesville?
About 5-6 years. 5 years.
Okay, so this is a good question for you.
Okay.
Not a huge time in Charlottesville, but still enough time. Mm-hmm. Charlottesville then, Charlottesville today. I close the show the same way every way.
Okay.
Better place when you first arrive or better place now?
Better place now. It is a growing city. Not just in terms of, you know, the real estate and seeing new construction, but new restaurants, new places to shop. Stonefield was not there when I first moved here.
You love those brands, don't you? You like to shop, don't you?
I do love to shop.
What are your favorite brands over there?
Oh, gosh.
I bet you I could guess.
Okay, Pottery.
Okay, go. Sorry.
Pottery Barn.
Okay.
I love like home decor and that kind of stuff. Yeah, over at Stonefield. Gosh, Vineyard Vines. I mean, there's great restaurants in there too. Yeah. Trevinia. And yeah, I remember when that was just a piece of land. I had a family member who lived here, and again, riding and growing up, seeing Charlottesville, it is growing. It is like, and I think that makes so much sense that from the Northern Virginia market, from 2 hours away, you can drive just south, easy commute, 66, 29, and you're here and you have this gorgeous area.
It's so different.
It's so different.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit, I say it's a slower pace of life, but it's a small city and growing, and it's vibrant, and you have the sort of the beautiful landscape and being able to take advantage of, you know, hiking and mountains and wineries and breweries, and you also have the college town, and you can go Hoos. I gotta throw it in there. I love to go to basketball games and sporting events and JPJ. I just went to. Okay, people are gonna laugh. I went to the Keith Urban concert.
Good for you.
Mom and I went. We were born on the same day, my mom and I. Birthday present, she got us Keith Urban tickets. Did you see this?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Highlight of my 2018, I make it down to, like, kind of where the floor, and Keith is, like, you know, walking around and greeting everybody. And I just reach my hand out, and he comes over and sings with me. Stop. Oh my God!
The photo's on your Facebook page.
It was.
It's
yeah.
epic. So you have proof.
It was cool. Nicole, it's fine. I will share him. Like he's anyway. So,
Is he your favorite artist?
He's one of my favorite artists. Probably the best concert I have ever been to. Another agent in my company was there, Pam, and she was like, "Were you blown away?" I mean, I was like, we were blown away. It was an incredible artist. So one more reason, Charlottesville, like. Awesome artists come to town.
I mean, it's got everything. And
right?
Obviously, my business is I Love CVille.
Yeah.
But I
love CVille too.
I know you do. I've been here 18 years. Went to school here for UVA.
Okay.
Okay. And it hooked me. And, you know, initially stayed here for a girl. She was the wrong girl. I'm okay with saying that.
Okay.
Okay. No longer in my life.
Okay.
Okay. But once that was beyond me, I was like, maybe the girl is Charlottesville, you know? And I fell in love with Charlottesville because of all the reasons you said. The vineyards, the brewery. Obviously, I like a cocktail or two. Who doesn't?
Okay.
The hiking, the UVA sports. I mean, don't you feel like it's got that like big city cosmopolitan feel,
Yeah.
but still has the sense of intimacy where you can walk around the corner, know who you're walking by, and if something happens to you, you're not worried about your safety.
You're not. I mean, I have walked. So even the downtown mall, you come up and you're, maybe a street is a little darker than whatever. I wouldn't do that in DC. No way would I walk to, if I'm going to go and, I'm getting an Uber ride home or something. If you're going to drink, don't drive. Wait for your Uber. Yeah, I don't feel unsafe. I think that it's unfortunate the events like in August that happened, but that's not Charlottesville. Those people weren't from Charlottesville that this happened. And although it was tragic and really, really unfortunate, no, I've never felt sort of unsafe. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, well, aren't you kind of, if you're going to go into a house, aren't you kind of leery if you're going into a vacant house, whatever? I said, I have strategies all the time of because safety is, you have to be conscious of it. Number one, I carry pepper spray or like mace in my car on my keychain, and I let someone know where I'm going. Even if I'm going to be with clients, but let them know where I'm going so that they know. Be like, okay, track me down. Find if something happened, whatever it may be. You may not have good cell service or whatever. So no, I think Charlottesville is unique in that way that it hooked me too, for lots of different aspects, but that the sense of community and that cosmopolitan but small town feel.
Highlight reel, Judah. Highlight reel. Mark that down, baby.
Mark it down, baby.
Last question. Where can we find you online? Where can we find you on social? Where can we find you URL, website-wise?
Sure.
We want to engage with your content.
Awesome. Well, I hope some of these highlight reels will definitely, I'll put them on my website.
Okay.
You can go to KatelynMancini.com. You can find me on Instagram, Katelyn.realtor, or KM8. No, wait. K Mancini 8. Do Katelyn.realtor.
Okay.
That's my better Instagram. I'm like, what's my other one? And on Facebook. But finding me on my website is probably the best way. Or you can always call me, but all my contact information is on my website. And this has been so fun.
You crushed it today.
Thank you so much.
We're over an hour.
Oh my gosh. Okay, done.
You crushed it today.
Cut it off. I'm done.
I am so grateful for her time. She made this show absolutely easy.
Thank you.
Seriously, you crushed it.
I appreciate it so much.
Check her out online, guys. She is someone you can count on and you can trust with perhaps your most important transaction of your life. Katelyn Mancini, folks. Tomorrow, it's Liza Borges. She is an automotive superpower. I'm talking about the top dog in the automotive space here in Central Virginia. Mark Lorenzoni of Ragged Mountain Running Shop on Friday. And next week, we are going to welcome some of the folks that are running for city council to see where they stand on a number of important issues here on the I Love CVille show. I close the same way, everybody. Please, Charlottesville and Central Virginia, be good to each other. We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30.
Awesome. Be kind to one another. Ellen DeGeneres, I love how you... No.